Hello there everybody, this is Lane and welcome to the pilot episode for a new series I'm trying to experiment called Games Galore. Basically, this pilot episode is sort of like a test to see if people are actually interested in wanting for me to make more of this series. Basically, this series is where I talk about specific video games that I have in my collection or that I have played before if I rented it. Stuff like that. And basically, I would tell you where to get the game, what the game is all about, and what I think about the game, its ups and downs. And I'm not going to show any footage of the games, but I will show screenshots from the internet as well as artwork of characters that appear in the game. Also, I'm not going to be taking requests, so if somebody were to ask me hey play this game, and I'm just going to ignore that because again, this is just about video games that I personally own in my collection, or games I might have played anymore. So you might not know what I have in my collection, and that's kind of why it's kind of hard for me to make suggestions come true, just because I may not have Call of Duty, Black Ops, or something, because I don't really play those kinds of games. But I will make polls on the community tab of my channel. If you can click on my YouTube channel and go to the community section, I will be posting polls on which games you want me to cover first. In fact, I think right now you can go on my channel and vote. But for this specific video, I chose the game for myself. It's probably not going to be the case very often, but just for this pilot, I feel like it's best for me to choose. So the game we're going to be covering in this pilot is Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo Famicom. So where to get this game? Well, of course it is available on the family computer, Famicom for short. And then you can get it on its international counterpart, the Nintendo Entertainment System, NES for short. Then you can, well, it wasn't released on the Game Boy, didn't get a release on the Super Nintendo, at least in its original form. It did get a 16-bit remake in Super Mario All-Stars, but I want to cover Super Mario All-Stars in a later video. The Game Boy Color did get a version of Super Mario Bros. Called Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, and I actually do have it on the 3DS Virtual Console. Didn't get a release on the 64, and unless if you were to hack your copy of Animal Crossing, then there's really no way to play Super Mario Bros. On the GameCube. Though there is the Famicom Mini / NES Classic series for the Game Boy Advance that has Super Mario Bros. On it, even if the screen looks crappy in this version, you can, if you have a Game Boy player and the startup disc, unless if you modified it, then you could actually play Super Mario Bros. From the Classic series onto the GameCube via the Game Boy player. So technically you can play the game on the GameCube, but there isn't any release on the GameCube traditionally. And then you can get the game on the Nintendo Wii, 3DS, and Wii U Virtual Console. And then you can get it on the NES Classic Edition. And if you are a member of the Nintendo Switch Online service, which I am, you're able to play Super Mario Bros. On the NES Online app. So that's basically it to talk about when it comes to release. I'm gonna avoid talking about unofficial releases or emulations, just because most people probably would rather play the games officially, on Steam or on a Nintendo console or a PlayStation console or an Xbox console. So I mean, I personally can too, unless if there is a specific console that I don't own but I don't want to pay that much money for it, then I would recommend emulation. But yeah, so now let's talk about the plot of Super Mario Bros. There isn't really much of a plot, at least in game, but they did write a story on the instruction booklet, and it says, "One day, the kingdom of the peaceful Mushroom Kingdom was invaded by the Koopa, a tribe of turtles famous for their black magic. The quiet, peace-loving mushroom people were turned into mere stones, bricks, and even field horse hair plants, and the Mushroom Kingdom fell into ruin." So I think I'm just going to explain this before I continue talking about the plot. There's this conspiracy that like Mario is killing the Toads because it says that they were turned to bricks, and when you jump on, well, if you hit bricks with your fists, since Mario hits things with his hands, not his head, people think that the breakable brick has a toad inside and that Mario killed it. I don't really think the breakable bricks are toads. I actually think the bricks, I'm not talking about the question mark blocks, but I'm pretty sure the bricks that can carry 10 coins or any random item, I think those are actually toads. And I think it's just them giving the item or the coins to Mario and Luigi, just to help them progress through the levels. I think that's probably how this whole thing works. And this whole situation is only in Super Mario Brothers. So every game after that, no toads are in any bricks. And I'm betting that after Mario saved Peach, all the toads, were turned back to normal. They're no longer stones, bricks, or Horsefield hair plants. And it actually explains it in the second paragraph of the plot. It says, "The only one who can undo the magic spell on the Mushroom People and return them to their normal selves is the Princess Toadstool, the daughter of the Mushroom King. Unfortunately, she is presently in the hands of the Great Koopa Turtle King," which is what they decided to call Bowser, or Koopa as he's known in Japan. "Mario, the hero of the story maybe, hears about the Mushroom People's plight and sets out on a quest to free the Mushroom Princess from the evil Koopa and restore the fallen kingdom of the Mushroom People. You are Mario. It's up to you to save the Mushroom People from the black magic of the Koopa." So one thing that you'll know first about the game is how catchy the overworld theme is. It's a really good piece of music. Also, what's great about Super Mario Bros. Is that how simple the controls are. You only have a D-pad and 2 buttons. I'm not counting the select or the start button, but you basically only have 3 controls. And basically the B button is to hold on it, and when you move, Mario runs faster. And then the A button is for you to jump. And then the directional pad is for moving. The up doesn't work, but the left and right one does. Only the down direction only works if you're regular Mario. It doesn't work if you're small Mario in the original Super Mario Brothers. Also, what's cool about this game is that you can it's one of the most speedrun games of all time, which means that you can definitely beat it in over or under 2 minutes, depending on how skilled you are. For example, if you were to go to the second level of the first world, because you're underground, basically you're just avoiding the pipe that you're supposed to go into in order to access World 1 Level 3. And basically you'll enter in a warp zone that'll take you to either World 2, 3, or 4. And you can go into World 4, and if you go into the second level of World 4, there is a vine that you must climb up to, a hidden vine you need to climb up, and it'll take you to another warp zone that will take you to 6, 7, and 8. And if you go into 8, you're practically be able to beat in the game. World 8 is very hard. I mean, not the hardest in any Mario games. It's not as hard as Super Mario Bros. 2, but it is decently hard. At least the hardest world in the original Super Mario Brothers. I mean, I'm able to memorize almost all of the levels, including the final castle level where you beat the real Bowser. And it's pretty fun. It'll take you a lot of tries, but that's why I like the Virtual Console releases as well as the NES Classic Edition, because you're able to save any specific point in the game, and if you mess up, you can just go back and load up your save point. What I don't like about Super Mario Brothers is that, because you know how in most Mario games nowadays, when you jump on an enemy, you can press the A button again, to give a boost. That wasn't in the original Super Mario Bros. I don't know when they added that feature. I think it was in Super Mario Bros. 3 or World, but it wasn't in the original Super Mario Bros. Nor its sequel on the Famicom Disk System. So, I mean, it's very difficult not having that feature. in any Mario game, because it's one thing that made the game a lot easier for most people is having that extra boost. You know, I think that's probably the main reason why it's kind of hard for me to play the original Super Mario Bros. Nowadays, as well as its Japanese sequel, because just because it doesn't have that feature, it just makes it difficult, you know, for me to, you know, get good at the game. That's kind of why I love Super Mario Maker and Super Mario Maker 2, because like you're able to like recreate the levels from scratch, and having that boost makes the game a lot easier. You travel like 8 worlds, and there's 4 levels each. And in the castles for the first 7 worlds, you battle a fake Bowser that's like a Mario enemy in disguise. And once you beat those, either throwing a fireball at them or like getting into the axe, you'll basically save a Toad, which will tell you that Peach is in another castle. Now, there's just something I want to mention first, because this is the first game to feature the Toad species, but it isn't the first game to feature Toad the character. It wouldn't be until the US release of Super Mario Bros. 2, the NES version that was originally Doki Doki Panic. It wasn't until that game was when we got, you know, our first appearance of the actual Toad character. And so when you get to the final level in World 8, you defeat the real Bowser and you save Princess Peach. And basically your quest is over now, but she does tell you to try another quest. And when you play the second quest, which is basically just play the game after you save Peach, all the Goombas will be replaced with Buzzy Beetles. They're trying to make the game harder. I know there were some rumors about a secret chocolate factory level, as well as a rumor about the game getting a lot harder to the point where every enemy will become Bowser's. Of course, those rumors are not true. Basically, anything you'll read in the Super Mario Wiki, or the Mario Wiki from fandom, or just any sources that are a little bit more reliable, will tell you that these rumors are probably not true. In fact, there was a Did You Know Gaming video you can watch about Mario rumors where they mention those things. So yeah, so that's probably basically it about Super Mario Brothers. Again, it's a really good game. The graphics are not, I mean, I don't think they're as bad like today, but I feel like some of the graphics on the characters don't really look accurate to how they're supposed to look like. Like, for example, Mario is supposed to have a blue shirt and white gloves, but for some reason, his shirt in the sprites is the exact same color as his eyes, mustache, and hair, and his boots. And his hands, instead of being colored white, they're colored the same color as his buttons and face. That's actually just because of the color limitations of the NES at the time, especially since this was an early game in the Famicom NES. So that's kind of basically it about Super Mario Bros. I think it's a really good game. Again, if you have any Nintendo console after the Wii, I mean, it's super easy to play Super Mario Brothers. Like, it's really cheap to get. And the NES Classic Edition, I don't think it's that expensive anymore, since it did got re-released a couple years ago. So yeah, Super Mario Brothers, pretty good game. Again, it's not as good as Super Mario World in my opinion, or New Super Mario Bros. U, but Super Mario Brothers is a good, like, whenever you're bored and you won't just want to quickly play Mario game, I'd say Super Mario Brothers is a good game to go with.